So we got an update on that PlayStation Sci Fi project that leaked online. We're also going to be talking about the Microsoft Activision deal, a couple things there. And lastly, we're going to be talking about the PSVR2. Apparently, the Oculus founder is very impressed with it. We're going to talk about his comments. Now, before we jump into this, if you could do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, share the video. Helps the channel a ton, and I appreciate it very, very much. Now, let's kick it off with this leaked sci-fi project. So it turns out that it could be People Can Fly developing this project with the aid of XDev. According to a post on ResetEra, the footage appears to contain the text Red, which was the code name for one of People Can Fly's projects. So it is believed to be that could be one of their projects, and they are producing it themselves or developing it themselves. And so if you don't know about People Can Fly, they created Bulletstorm and they created Outriders. Bulletstorm first debuted in 2011 on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, reviewed decently, had an 84 on Metacritic, which to me is really good considering I believe that was their first game. And then Outriders came to be in 2021 and reviewed at a 73. So definitely softer than their first game, but nonetheless, a 73 I guess is not too bad. It's like worth your time level of score, but definitely not the 84 that they got with Bulletstorm. Needless to say, these games are very much like at least Bulletstorm was very much like Gears of War, and then Outriders was different from that, but took some aspects of what Bulletstorm was. In my opinion, these games don't really move the needle for me. I'm not a huge fan of either of these games. Outriders was definitely not my cup of tea, but I did see that a lot of people were playing Outriders, and particularly that was due to it being on Game Pass day one, which definitely boosted the player base and boosted its awareness. Whether that was a good thing in terms of a trade-off for selling the game is hard to say, but I would assume that they probably got more players than they ever would have dreamed of otherwise, and that kind of might have been worth it in the long run for them, given more people would have had a chance to play it, and maybe that was the best move for them, which is why they did it. Although I heard that there were some complaints about the effects of what Game Pass did to them in the sense of they just were not selling enough copies of the game. But of course, when you put your game out day and date on a service and people can get that game, they're going to play to their heart's content. They may not have a reason to buy your game anymore, and that is natural. Like, I personally sign up for Game Pass when they drop a game day and date that I'm interested in. I'm not going to go out and spend the money unless it's something that I have to do, because yes, games are very expensive. So I think, without going too far on a tangent, my point is that they are developing this game, or are believed to be. In their last two games, the first one being more of a success, second one kind of softer in that area. But I think that it actually does very much look like a game that they would make. Aesthetically, it looks like it. Mind you, this is very, very early footage, like super early footage, to the point that they are saying that this could even be from 2001, as the studio said that the game in question was in the concept developed phase, and this was a long time ago. So if it is true, and I think it is because of the aesthetic of the game, and it very much does look like it, and plus of the code name, believed to be Red, I think it definitely does play a role in that, and I do think that it is logical to think, or reasonable to think, that People Can Fly is developing this game. Whether that actually is the case, we still don't know, but I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know, do you think People Can Fly is producing this game? I do wonder if it'll be a good game. I'm not a big fan of the games that they've put out already, but there are people who really loved Outriders. There are people who really loved Bulletstorm. Definitely not my game, but it's interesting to see if this will get people as excited as it did before we knew about that. Now, next, I want to talk to you guys about this Microsoft Activision deal and how it could be delayed until 2024. So the latest Federal Trade Commission schedule suggests that the deal could be delayed into 2024. The scheduling order reveals final hearings on the case won't even begin until August 2nd, 2023, and are likely to last for months. So it's, man, I don't know about you guys. I am so exhausted off this entire thing. I just want it to be up and over with. Like, I'm actually ready to move on. I'm ready for us to start talking about better and bigger things. although I understand the Activision merger, all that is huge. I know, I get it. It is huge. Well, how long are we going to talk about this for? We've been talking about this for so long already. Do I think it's going to go through? It probably will go through. Do I think it's going to go through without any hiccups? No, I feel like there are probably going to have to be some concessions made for this. What it's going to be, I have no clue. They already are talking about things that have to be done, like it being on other platforms, like it being available on other subscription services, which, okay, we've got those things out of the way. I just want to know, like, what is the final decision? And it seems like if it's going to draw out to 2024, man, we're going to be fatigued more than we already are on this topic. But yeah, that's kind of where this is going, and we're going to be waiting even longer for an answer on all of this. Truthfully, you know, from the beginning when I heard about the merger and like they announced it and everything, I thought, wow, this is huge. It's a big move. But at this point, it's lost its charm. It's lost the hype. It's lost the discussion around it. Like to me, it's not as exciting to talk about it because we've talked about it for so long. Mind you, I haven't made a lot of videos on this because I wanted to wait till we had a decision or get closer to a decision. But it seems like that decision is being pushed further and further and further out. But that's my 2 cents on it. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this deal is going to go through? Like, what do you think is going to happen with this merger? It's hard to say. I guess we're going to have to wait a little while longer till we get an answer on that. Now, lastly, I want to talk to you guys about PSVR2. So the Oculus founder, Palmer Luckey, was blown away by the PSVR2. He responded on Shuhei Yoshida's tweet about the PSVR2 hands-on experience, and he said, I was blown away when I used PSVR2 recently. The first PSVR was arguably the biggest success of the generation. This version will do even better. So, first of all, it shouldn't need to even be said, but the Oculus founder being impressed by this is a major statement, right? This is somebody who's worked in that kind of field with that kind of equipment, and themselves saying this is impressive very much adds to the hype of what PSVR2 is, and especially it's coming next month. Now, obviously, there is a elephant in the room to address when it comes to PSVR2. The price tag, even though it is more affordable than most VR headsets that would require a very capable rig, it's still expensive and it is a lot of money, regardless how you look at it. Obviously, it's the cheapest way to experience VR and probably going to be one of the best ways to experience VR, but it's hard to say that, you know, it's not expensive to put out that kind of money plus the PS5 cost as well, even if it is the most affordable way to experience VR. And so that's where it kind of becomes one of these reasons why we're not going to see PSVR 2 just fly off the shelves. Even today, if you go in, you could pre-order a PSVR 2. It's available for you. You could pre-order it today, tomorrow, next week, on launch day. It doesn't matter. This thing will be available because it is so expensive. And at least where I live, there is no shortage of availability in terms of pre-orders for this thing. And I think that's going to be reflective across the board. Unless I'm wrong, let me know if your area is sold out completely of it. But where I live, you could go to any one of the stores and pre-order this device. And it's been out on pre-order for a very, very long time already. And it's out next month. So I think the price is very, very much impacting its reason for not selling as quickly, right? So we'll see what happens. Launch day, who knows? Maybe they'll all sell out. Maybe they will. Who knows? But I think PSVR 2 is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be ahead of its time. I think it's going to be a special experience. But if I'm being honest, and I always will be honest about how I feel about things, this is a very expensive product that I don't think a lot of people are going to experience because of the price tag. But you get what you pay for, and if you want to experience something premium, you got to pay a premium. That's just pretty much how it goes. The same reason why people go out and buy PS5 instead of just sticking with the PS4, right? But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think PSVR 2 is going to be awesome? Are you going to buy it yourself? If not, let me know. If you are, let me know. I want to know how you guys are feeling about the PSVR 2, especially since it's out next month. As always, if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe, like, comment, share the video. Helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description. And if you want to go a step further to support the channel, you can always become a channel member and join our other members of the channel. It starts at $1.99 Canadian, and it really does help the channel a lot. And it does get reinvested right back into the channel. Every single subscription, every single dollar from ad revenue always gets reinvested back into the channel. I'll talk to you guys all on the next one. Take care.